We hope you're enjoying your new MG4. We understand that there can be a lot of information to take in when you first collect your new car. So, to ensure you can get the most out of your new MG4, we have produced this short handover refresher to answer some of our customers' most frequently asked questions. This guide can be used as a quick tool to familiarise yourself with your new MG4 or as a handy reference tool should you ever need a quick reminder. Today we'll be looking at the MG4 Trophy. However, much of what we look at is also relevant to the SE model. So let's start with some of the basic functionality and safety features of the MG4. The first thing is to make yourself comfortable, which is easy with the MG4. You can find your optimum driver position by operating these two switches. The passenger seat has manual controls on the left-hand side and beneath the seat. The steering wheel is height and reach adjustable using this lever. The indicators and lights are on the left and wipers are on the right. You can adjust your wing mirrors using this directional controller. Rotate to select the mirror. Electric window controls are on the door. This switch activates the window child lock function. One clever feature of the MG4 is that the car is ready to drive when you're comfortable and strapped in. There's no ignition or stop-start button. Also, there are no gears or gear stick, but instead it has this rotary drive selector. With your foot on the brake, rotate clockwise for forwards and anti-clockwise for reverse. When in drive, the electronic brake will automatically disengage when you pull away. When stationary, activate the electronic handbrake with this switch or press this park button, which both engages the handbrake and puts the car into neutral. In the roof is the emergency SOS button. Pressing it will connect you directly to the emergency services with a voice call. The multifunction steering wheel allows you to navigate and change your MG4 settings without ever removing your hands from the wheel. The buttons on the steering wheel enable the driver to access voice control, switch between screens, answer and end calls, and scroll through the menus. This button can be user-defined from the main settings screen. The MG4 has two full-colour screens, which are a hub for all the essential information about your car and where you can access your vehicle settings. We recommend familiarising yourself with their operation while parked safely. The main central screen includes options for weather, energy management and air conditioning display. Pull down to access more options, radio and music, navigation, status bar, shortcuts, and Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. Swiping left provides additional options. This physical home button always returns you to the main menu screen. This driver information display can be operated using the control pad to the right of the steering wheel. Displayed information includes warning lamp and indicators, active safety control, speedometer, the message centre which can show vehicle health, a trip computer, navigation, settings and multimedia, energy regeneration mode, power meter, remaining battery gauge and range to empty indicator, driver mode, power system status and gear display. With the MG4, there are often several ways to change a setting, allowing you to choose what's most intuitive. You can use the central touchscreen, the steering wheel controls or these physical buttons. Your MG4 is fitted with a regenerative braking feature, enabling the car to recover energy when slowing down. Regenerative braking can take a little getting used to at first, but you can personalise the amount of braking to suit your preference. This is how. On the second screen of the centre console, select Vehicle and if not already selected, the Driving tab. The different recovery modes are selectable in the second row. You can also choose between 5 different drive modes. Eco is best for maximum range and Sport is best for performance and a more dynamic driving experience. You can change other vehicle settings using the option at the top of the screen. Another really clever feature of the MG4 is MG Pilot, a suite of advanced driver aids and safety features. It is accessed through your central screen. Features include lane keep assist, forward collision mitigation, pedestrian detection and emergency braking, rear driver assistance and speed assistance, which monitors road signs for speed limit changes and provides a visual alert on your driver display. MG Pilot includes adaptive cruise control, which is engaged using this button on the steering wheel. Pushing up to increase the speed and down to decrease. Press right to increase the distance between you and the car in front, and press left to decrease. Press this button again to deactivate. The MG4 features iSmart connected services that lets you check and control many functions of your car remotely using just a mobile phone. First, download the MG iSmart app from the Apple or Google App Store. Register your email or mobile and then scan the QR code on your vehicle setting tab to bind the car to your account. We have a full demonstration of the iSmart function on the MG website. Just follow the link below. Pairing a phone is easy. With your phone's Bluetooth switched on and set to visible, select this screen on your central display and follow the on-screen prompts on both your phone and the car. The charging point for the MG4 is on the rear left panel of the car. This top socket is for slow and fast charging using a Type 2 plug, and the entire socket is for rapid charging using the CCS type plug. When charging using an untethered Type 2 cable, always connect the cable to the charging unit before connecting to the car. This light indicates the charging status. Once you start charging, you can view information on the charge session on your MG4's driver display. The button for the boot is concealed just below the MG logo. This is the MG4's 3-pin occasional use charger. The emergency tyre inflation kit or spare wheel is beneath the boot floor. If your vehicle is supplied with an inflation kit, please familiarise yourself with how to operate this by referring to your owner's handbook at the earliest opportunity. But here's a quick guide. The puncture repair kit is a temporary measure designed to allow you to get to an MG authorised repairer or a place of safety. First, make sure you are parked safely on a level surface. There is no need to jack the car or remove the wheel from your vehicle. The tyre inflation and puncture repair kit is supplied in two parts, the compressor and the sealant. First, screw the compressor to the sealant canister using this hose. Then secure the canister to the compressor using this groove. Remove the valve dust cap from your tyre. If your car is supplied with wheel trims, you may need to remove these first. The hose from the canister attaches to the valve on your tyre. Check that the power switch on the compressor is off, then connect the compressor to the 12-volt power socket of your car. Turn on your vehicle's ignition. When connected, turn on the compressor and allow the tyre to inflate. The sealant bottle will be empty after about 30 seconds, but continue to inflate to the required pressure. If your tyre does not inflate within 10 minutes, remove the compressor, drive your car for 10 metres to allow the sealant to distribute and try re-inflating the tyre. If the tyre still doesn't inflate, your tyre is severely damaged and you should seek roadside assistance. After successfully adding sealant to the tyre, drive immediately for about a minute to allow the sealant to distribute evenly inside the tyre. Then drive your MG for 10 minutes, not exceeding 50 miles per hour. After 10 minutes, recheck your tyre pressure when safe. If the tyre pressure has dropped to less than 0.8 bar, do not continue driving and seek roadside assistance. If the tyre pressure is between 0.8 and 2.3 bar, reconnect the compressor and attempt to re-inflate. Drive another 10 miles. If, after another 10 miles, the tyre pressure has not dropped, you may continue driving, but the vehicle speed must not exceed 50 miles per hour or be driven further than 125 miles. The bonnet lever is here. This is your washer top-up reservoir, and these are for your coolants and brake fluids. Check your owner manual for further details of MG4's routine maintenance requirements. So there we have it, our quick start guide to the MG4. An introduction to your MG4's basic controls, but also a reference to refer to if you ever need a refresher. For a comprehensive guide, please refer to your owner's manual, which you can access through your MG4's centre console. And don't forget that the MG4 benefits from an industry-leading peace of mind 7-year warranty. And in the unlikely event you need roadside assistance, MG Assist is available 24/7 on 0800 072 3338. Why not save that number in your phone? Thank you for purchasing a new MG4 and welcome to the MG family. We wish you many years of safe and happy motoring.